unless what you see on the TV is what they see on the live stream.
My kid needs one of that. My kid needs two, like, we're like, they get scared of school because there's no wall. I'll sometimes call, but he came home today from school, and I'm like, he was tired from away. It does. Yeah, he never really seen that. Oh, I see his Dave.
Staircase.
There you go, Brian, I changed your photo in my phone.
Your new profile picture in Morgan's phone.
Oh, man.
I will change it.
Ours is cool.
Our senior picture.
Strawberry, but. Okay.
Oh, these are Dave on the phone. I was like, you can't delete that.
What?
Friday.
You're off this Friday? Oh, okay. Huh? Oh, where you going?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Don't eat too much.
That's the point of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's not, there's not very many stores on right now. Oh, there should be. But they don't have to join via Teams. They watch YouTube Live.
Oh, okay. So we don't know for sure who's on and who's not.
Okay. Can you hear us on, I don't know if Blake has his mic turned on or not. Doesn't look like it, because it's not picking up captions.
He keeps running on that.
She made a Christmas tree. Look at her. Look at her face.
I'll show you later. Scarlett made a Christmas wreath. She just sent me a picture. Brittany just sent me a picture of her. You should see her face. It's hilarious. She's such a funny kid. I think it's for Christmas. I spent a lot of money. My room is full, like, way to my closet.
Dave,
That's crazy.
Dave, can you hear me?
I didn't do that.
Kristen, you're talking to me. Anybody that wants to hear me? Okay, so I need to know, when we get to this point, then is it up to you guys to accept her? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Somebody needs to be accepted into the meeting. I don't have any. She showed somebody's phone.
Is it picking up on anybody?
I don't know if it is. Madisonville TV isn't showing anything, is what it is.
Yeah, we're trying to
You
help
should
them
see all
out.
the packages at my door.
No, that's
There
not.
were like 5 packages at my door. Those huge ones.
I was wondering, but I
All
just
the
didn't
kids'
want to touch it because I was
Christmas
scared that you
stuff.
had it like that for a reason.
Okay, on the TV, can you pull to?
All right, can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
It's picking up captions, so I'm hoping that means yes.
Dave's giving us a thumbs up.
I hear you.
Awesome.
I hear you.
What time is it? 2:02.
All right, I guess I can,
We have, there's people that aren't accepted into the group.
I don't have any requests for anybody to be accepted.
Tiffany, that says she don't have a request for you to be accepted.
You can also
Let me
watch
see
it
your
on, she can also watch it on YouTube. The link was sent out via text.
The link was sent out via text. No, look at your text messages. Thank you, Morgan. I'm gonna mute you, okay? Mute my end. Oh, I'm sorry, she doesn't have the text message.
Because I have no, I have to update my new phone.
Yes, you have a different phone number.
Is the YouTube channel, what's the YouTube? How do you go to the
Is
YouTube?
it Minty.com on YouTube?
No, it's, if you go to YouTube, you can then search, you should be able to search for November Goodwill, Townhall, Fireside Chat is the title of the live. It should, you should see it pop
On
up.
YouTube. November Goodwill. I don't know what it's doing.
Well, Kim's getting that big one day.
Here, oh, she's getting it, never mind, Kim's getting it on the big TV. Sorry, guys.
All right. There's always technical difficulties with these things. So welcome everybody to our November Town Hall. We are doing it a little different this time. As you can see, we're all sitting in here together as a panel because we sent out questions for you guys, and we'll get into the why a little bit later. But before we get started, I want to just provide some instructions. I don't know if any of you guys have your phones, but you can use your phone and go to your internet browser, go to menti.com and enter the code 8300-4059, and that will allow you to ask questions throughout the presentation or engage in the slides, because there's like a question at the end that you can answer. You can also just scan the QR code with your phone's camera as well, and that will pull it up in your internet browser. I do want to be completely transparent that we do monitor the questions on the back end to make sure they're appropriate, they're not mean or anything like that. So we will delete them if we see anything that is mean, inappropriate, or anything like that that pops up. But we will wait till the very end to open the Q&A. We're going to start first with a little bit of an agenda. So I'll pass it over to Tristan. He is our financial controller, and he is our moderator for today.
Thank you, Morgan. So hopefully everybody's day is going well. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, so hopefully the day is treating you well. I do want to kick off a quick update and reminder. Open enrollment is open through November 22nd. So please be sure to enroll in benefits. Please also verify your contact information in Paycor, such as your address, and just so we can update your W-2s. It's almost tax time. And also please RSVP for our holiday party. The holiday party is in November. The holiday party is in December, but we would like an RSVP by November 30th. Thank you, guys. I also want to congratulate some of our employees on promotions. We have Joshua Frenzen, he's at First Avenue, and Kiera Lewis, she's in Vincennes. So congratulate a few of the individuals for promotions. Next up is our anniversaries. So we have many individuals who are celebrating their 1 year to 40-year anniversary. So I see Heather Brown, and I'm only gonna name a few, but Heather Brown, Allie Edmond, Tori Gatton, all the way down to Kenneth Hirschberg, 5 years. So please congratulate everybody who is celebrating their anniversary.
Susan.
1 year. Yeah.
Congratulations. And then we have 6 years, William Butler, Donna Anderson, Maria Hernandez. 7 years, Benjamin Knapp.
All right, Ben.
Mary. 8 years, Adam H. 9 years, Kyle Hill. Marjorie Montgomery. 10 years, Rose Horn. Sarah Brennan, Nancy Colburn. 11, Donna Wynn. Linda Puckett. 29 years, Angela Williams. 32 years, Mary Bill.
Right, Mary.
33 years, Gary Dimmitt, and then 45 years.
Wow.
Congratulations to everybody celebrating their anniversary. So next, we're gonna get into our fireside chat, and I do want to introduce some of the panel members. So first, I'm gonna introduce Connie Ralph, Amanda Simmons, Brian Baker, Brandy Smith, and Morgan Longy. And Connie, if you can introduce yourself and tell us the why of this fireside chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really happy to have people online. We're happy to have you guys here in the room today. When we got started at Townhall several years ago, the whole purpose for doing this was to improve the lines of communication between what happens in the corporate headquarters and throughout our whole organization. We're awfully spread out, and so sometimes it's hard to really keep up with all the things that are going on. So that was really our main reason for starting something like this. But we've been getting feedback because our employees are filling out surveys, and that's really important to us that you guys continue to do that. But we're understanding and learning that you guys maybe feel like town halls don't always work for you, that you maybe aren't getting everything that you need out of them. So we decided to change things up a little bit and try something new. So today, our fireside chat is really more about you guys setting the agenda. So a while back, a couple of weeks ago, Morgan sent out a text message, and I don't know, maybe some other platforms as well, but to gain questions from you guys. So our employees sent in a lot of good questions, and we're gonna go through those and answer a lot of those questions today and try and cover all of them today, and maybe even a few others. If you think of some, you can submit questions, at the end through the Mentimeter. So I don't know if that's open for questions throughout or just at the end.
It says throughout.
You can ask questions throughout the presentation, however, we're not gonna answer them until the very end, just to make sure we have time to get through all the pre-submitted ones.
Okay. So we've got a lot of questions, and thank you to Tristan. He's going to be our moderator, and he's gonna read our questions, and then we're gonna do the best we can to try and answer them.
Perfect, thank you, Connie. So I'll go ahead and get into our questions. Again, feel free to ask questions throughout the fireside chat in menti.com. But our first question today is, what is the town hall? And is it mandatory?
So Connie touched on it a little bit already, but the town hall, we originally created them because in a few years back, our surveys, we had a lot of reports of issues with communication. So this is one of the solutions we created, was creating these organization-wide town halls so everybody can learn about updates going on throughout the organization. And no, it is not mandatory, but it's a great way to just connect with other stores and us here at the corporate office, and to learn more about what's going on and any updates or changes that might be coming up.
Thanks, Morgan. Next question, what is the proper way to lower the price for furniture?
Hi, everybody. Great question. So the process we've had for a while with the furniture tags and the specified markdowns on there still work with the new production system. We still have 2 stores to roll out with the production. Once those are completed, we will update the way we mark down furniture, but you can still use that tag, and it's just a discount at the register currently. Great question.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Next question, what do we do with our pennies?
That's a great question. So currently, our point of sale is set up to round all cash transactions that include a penny. So there's not a whole lot that you guys can do with pennies at your register. So if you do have rolled pennies at your stores, management team members can take those to the local Fifth Third and cash those in.
Thanks, Amanda. How can we lower theft at our donor door after hours?
Unfortunately, people steal from us. The best things we can do is get them cleaned up as quick as possible. If there's donations when we're getting ready to leave, get them in, because it just encourages more and more theft. There's a lot of solutions. None of them are really the greatest. but it's something we're looking into, and, you know, hopefully maybe there's a little something better, but the best thing you can do right now is to get them cleaned up as possible and don't leave any out there when you leave at night.
Thank you. Next, does jewelry that does not sell go into unbreakables?
The short answer is no, it doesn't. The best way to deal with that is to put it in bags, or maybe like those big vases that we sometimes will sell in the stores, and sell it as a bulk item. Our managers are pretty well versed in selling the jewelry that doesn't sell in that cheaper, like costume jewelry, stuff like that. So that's really the best way for that. If it was in unbreakables, it would get lost in the tipper and the boats. That would be a disaster. So sell it like that.
Next question. At the register, why are we asking for phone numbers?
It's for marketing purposes. It's so we can communicate with people via text, promote things throughout the communities.
Thanks, Morgan. Next question. Can we get more information about the CEO in the stores to show people who she is and that she doesn't make millions of dollars?
We do not make millions of dollars, I promise you.
So many people believe that, and I try to explain to them that you don't.
They pass it on to another customer.
We try to explain that to them, but they get so mad at us, you know, and we're like, she doesn't make the money that you guys think that she's making, so.
Right.
I do think this is a good idea though, so we're working on updating the content on the store TV, so this will probably be something we'll add, just kind of a get to know Connie Ralph a little bit.
Thank you, guys. Where does the name WIG come from?
I will take that one. So, WIG is an acronym. It's for Wildly Important Goal, and we did not make this up. This comes from a book that we have been reading and really trying to practice, called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. And in the 4 Disciplines of Execution, the very first thing that you have to do is identify your wildly important goal. So for Goodwill, our wildly important goal is to increase the donations per household from 0.92 to 1.25 by December of 2025. And I would say most everybody has heard that a lot of different times because we've been talking about it a lot. I will give you a little bit of where we are right now. So as of September, our year-to-date 2025 donations per household is up to 1.01. I looked it up for 2024, same time period, and we were at 0.90. So that is a pretty significant improvement. Our efforts are definitely working, but we do have a long way to go to get to that 1.25. That is a big jump. I do want to point out though that our donation count has increased by like 25,000. That's a lot, 25,000 donations, which is awesome. That's great work. When you consider the value of a donation at being around $50 per donation, we should have seen an increase in our revenue across the board of about $1 million. The thing is we haven't. What we have seen is an increase of about $485,000. So what that tells me is that we're not getting those donations processed and into our stores for sale quickly enough. And I think we kind of know that's true because we've gone back and we're re-optimizing some of the stores. We are really getting focused on those standards again. And that's really, really important because as we do get more donations in, we don't want to just store them. Storing them doesn't make us any money, right? So in order to make the money, which we got questions coming up about wages, and so I'll talk more about that too, how that all fits together. But we have to process the donations that we're getting, and when we're getting an extra 25,000, that means we've really got to push hard to get it done. Does that help answer the question? You guys in the room? Okay, good.
Thanks, Connie. Next question. Goodwill is a job. Why have us do grade school things like PowerPoints, book club, and making us decorate? It is a waste of time.
What?
Well, I'm sorry you feel it's a waste of time, because we do it for you. We do it for your professional development and your personal development. As part of our mission, you guys know we really value education. work, relationships, people, communities, and that's exactly what we're trying to do internally. So we view all of our employees just as important as any client that we would serve externally. So we do these things to try to give you guys the tools if you want to move up in the company or if you want to move up outside the company. We want to be there to help with that.
And to add to the decorating side of things too, that's really meant to be an employee engagement thing as well as a customer experience thing. Because for the 90th anniversary, I think there were some stores that did some amazing decorating, and it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. And I think the customers had a lot of fun with it too. So it's just creating a more positive experience in our stores and for our employees.
I think it's fun.
Good.
I like it, it's fun.
And if you're a person who doesn't think it's fun, you can just not participate in it. It's also okay.
Thank you, guys. Next question, why doesn't the outlet get a wig bonus?
The short answer to that is we have 14 retail stores and we have one outlet. The outlet is considered an after retail store. What the outlet is selling is stuff that either comes off the color pool through the stores or doesn't meet grade to go on our stores. It is considered aftermarket salvage sales, and that's why it's not bonused like a retail store.
Thank you, Brian. Many employees share concern about wages. While we received a $2 increase earlier this year, some team members feel it hasn't significantly improved their ability to make ends meet, especially when comparing pay to similar roles in the community. How is Goodwill approaching compensation long-term, and what steps are being taken to ensure wages are competitive, supportive, and aligned with our mission of investing in people?
So this really is a great question, and it's one that I know is top of mind for all people. There's a lot of things in our economy that we don't control, obviously, the cost of groceries, the cost of rent, the cost of transportation, all those things. We don't have control over them. And so wages, naturally, are something that we're very, very concerned about. Within the question, it does ask about how we're approaching compensation long-term. And definitely our goal is to continue to provide pay increases and build up to a much more competitive wage for all of our employees. We do already spend currently with 450 or so employees, we're spending over $1 million a month in wages. So this is not a small expenditure. In fact, the wages make up 75% of our total expenses and 60% of our revenue that we earn is spent on wages. So it is something that as we build a process for increasing wages, we have to do it carefully. We have to do it with intentionality because we can't go too high too fast. If we do, and our revenue doesn't keep up with the increase in cost, then we would find ourselves in a really bad position as an organization, and we really can't do that. Too many people depend on us. You guys depend on us as employees, but all of the mission services we're providing through the Excel Center, the Opportunity Center, and the Good Skills Academy, and all the community members who participate in those kinds of things, that's also being supported by the revenue that's generated from our stores. The thing really to stay focused on is, like I mentioned earlier when it came to the donation stuff, if we stick to our optimization standards, we make sure that we are processing the product as fast as possible, taking the best stuff, pricing it properly, getting it in the store, and getting it sold as quickly as we can, that revenue will continue to grow. And as the revenue grows, then we are able to provide an increase in pay rate. Our hope for next year is to do another pay increase, probably not quite the whole $2 like we did this year. That was a huge jump for us to go from $11 to $13 at one time. But we do hope to do some type of a pay increase in our budget for next year. The other thing that we are working on is trying to open more stores. As we open more stores, then that also increases the revenue. It also increases the need for donations. And so that $25,000 extra that we've gotten so far this year is not really enough to open another store. So we have to continue to be very focused on our wildly important goal, that increasing donations per household, because that's what's gonna enable us to open new stores, which creates more jobs and creates more opportunities for mission in our communities.
Thank you, Connie. Store leaders shared concerns about compensation differences, workload, and communication. How is Goodwill working to ensure that managers feel supported, fairly compensated, and able to get timely answers when they need help?
That's another great question. And, you know, store leaders' compensation is actually tied to our budgeted revenue expectations. So when we identify that a store has a high revenue potential because of its location and its store size and the number of donations that come in, those managers do have a higher salary than those stores with less revenue potential. We also offer a bonus structure for all of the leaders in our stores, and that's another way for store leaders to increase their compensation. The other thing that we're doing, and it was mentioned earlier, is those opportunities for leadership development. We have created and will be continuing with the GEM program, which is a leadership development program that all employees are eligible to participate in, and also the management advancement training. And we encourage people who would love to become a manager someday in the future to participate in that program the next time it's offered. That's how we can help build your opportunities to advance up a career ladder here at Goodwill. And that's really what we're all about, is that learning and development and helping you all to become the best you can be in the job you want to be in, whether that is the job you're currently in or a job that you aspire to be in the future. And we also know that, you know, it's possible that sometimes when people gain new skills, they also decide that they need to find a job outside of Goodwill, and we want to help you with that too. Because we recognize that as much as we want to retain our good employees, we also know that it's part of our mission to help you do the best that you can for your own dreams and your own goals and your own family.
Thank you. Why are women's better shirts $5.99 while men's are still $4.99?
So, now we've still got two stores that don't have this system yet. Here at this store at Washington Avenue in Boonville, but that's coming shortly. So with that new production system, we can adjust prices really anytime. We used to menu price everything, now we can dynamically price stuff based on what it is. So that is one thing that we are going to continually review and look at, and prices will get adjusted here and there as we need to. So great question, but that's the why.
Okay. Next question. Can you go over what the ideal sell-through percentage is for an individual as a store?
Yeah, so here again, with that new production system, we can measure the percentage of items a person sells. I'll give you an example. If they produce 100 pieces, how many of those sell? If 50 of them sell, they sold about half, right? If 40 of them sell, they sold 40%. So somewhere in that 40 to 50% of the items you produce should sell in a store. If it's less than that, it could be a multitude of things. You're not picking the best quality items, you're pricing stuff too high. If it's a lot more than that, like you're selling 60, 70, 80%, you're probably pricing stuff too low. So that's where those coaching moments, all that learning can come about. But ideally somewhere between 40 and 50%.
Thank you, Brian. Next question. Some employees shared that the corporate office can feel like a big secret, and they like more visibility into what happens there. Are there plans to make the corporate office feel more accessible or to create opportunities for staff to see the space and the work that's being done?
Well, first off, I'm sorry if people feel like we are a big secret here. That is the last thing that we want to be. The corporate office is not meant to be a secret at all. Employees from across the board are always welcome to come here when it's convenient for them, but I know that as far away as some of our employees are, it's really hard to have those opportunities to come here. And it's hard to feel connected when you've got that distance between you. So some of the things, just so you're aware, that we do offer here at this particular building is the Excel Center, which is our high school for adults. We also have the Opportunity Center, the Good Skills Academy, which is our digital skills training program, which we're also trying to push out and provide elsewhere throughout our organization. So you will see us doing some road trips for that. And we also have the Helms Hall, which is the newest business venture really for Goodwill. It is our conference center that is located here in this building, and it's gonna be available, already is available for rent to the community. So people can hold parties there, wedding receptions, weddings, corporate events, all kinds of things. So that's another business line that will help us to diversify some of our revenue as well and utilize the space that we have available here. In addition to that, of the administrative services that we do from here is our accounting and finance department, our human resources department, marketing, mission advancement, people development, safety, loss prevention, risk management, IT, and governance, which is working with our board of directors, because as a nonprofit, we have to have a volunteer board of directors. So I do want to offer, I hope everybody's coming to the holiday party on December the 14th. And when you're here, we'd be happy to provide tours of the building. We'll try to get something set up so we've got, people that can take small groups on tours so everybody can see the whole building. There's nothing secret here.
Thanks, Connie. Next question. Why don't we have dog treats or candy to hand out at the door for donations? People donating, get a lot of kids and a lot of people donating with dogs that come through. It will be great for a little thank you to those donating, and a lot of them are regulars who donate as well as continue to come back.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So I love the sentiment of this, I really do, and I have a 7-year-old myself who loves going to the bank because she sometimes gets a sucker when she's there, right? That being said though, that bank is a very sterile environment. They've got brand new candy, that is always sterile and clean and all that fun stuff. The back rooms of our stores can be a very dusty environment. Sometimes it's subject to the weather with the door being open and whatever. And my fear would be that sometimes donated items would find their way into the new dog treats or the new suckers or whatever we had back there. And because of that, I don't feel it's a good idea, because I wouldn't want to see anybody get sick or any dog get sick because we had an old stale dog biscuit or something. But I love the idea of it.
Great answer, Brian. Can we get healthier options in the vending machine or some actual lunch options?
So each location that has a vending machine has a different company that oversees that vending machine. So if there are some other options that you're not seeing in the vending machine, if you have one at your location, talk to your management team and they can talk to the company that oversees the vending machine to try to get some different options in there.
Thank you. Next question. Can boutique items be moved back behind the registers how they used to be? On busy days, it's difficult to watch the boutique rack. A lot of theft that could be going towards the yearly sales goal. Or, I'm gonna rephrase, on busy days, it's difficult to watch the boutique rack because a lot of theft is going towards the yearly sales goal.
Yeah, I will take that question too. We used to, store managers used to put everything back behind where it was inaccessible to the customers. Ideally, you would have that stuff out so that folks can view it. They don't have to track down an employee. Because I don't know how many of you guys have been in a store, you wanted to see something, and you couldn't find anybody to show it to you, and you just got frustrated and you left. That loses sales too. I really wish people would stop stealing from us. If we could just tell people to stop, that'd be great. But we do want those items out at the front of the store so it is as easy to watch as possible. We know that people are going to steal. It's unfortunate, but if you see that activity, alert your manager, so that we've got some track of it, but try to watch those items. Yeah, we want them out where people can watch them. The other thing a lot of managers do, if it's items like shoes where it's a pair, you can keep one back. That way somebody can still see them. They're out there if they want to purchase them, they can or not. That is one idea with it, but ideally that stuff will be on the front of the racks at the front of the store where it's easy to see. Items over $50 should probably be in that display case though, especially smaller items that can fit in there. It doesn't just have to be jewelry.
Thanks, Brian. So I like this question. What can we do to make sure associates' ideas are taken seriously and not dismissed, so employees don't feel undervalued?
Yeah, absolutely do not want any employees to feel dismissed or undervalued. You guys are all extremely important to us achieving our goals here. We value your suggestions. that's part of our actual organizational values is respect and helping you to grow as an individual. So we want you to feel comfortable with sharing your ideas and your thoughts. At the same time, in order for us to thrive as an organization, we have a lot of policies and procedures and rules. You know, those are in place to ensure that we're really good stewards of the donations that we receive, that we are trying to get the most value out of those donations, and that we use our revenue to ensure that our mission is being accomplished. We definitely want feedback. It's the reason why we're here today doing what we're doing, because we received feedback and we put this together so that hopefully your questions are being answered. But also, if you do have thoughts or concerns about something that's going on, go to your management team, but also go with some ideas for solutions, not just the problems. Because it seems so easy, you know, I identified the problem, now somebody else will have to fix it. But that's not really the right way for all of us. It's not the way my team is to come to me. If there's something going on, they need to come with an idea for a solution as well, not just identify problems and expect me to fix them. And we want that to happen throughout the organization. It's a skill, and it's a skill that is valuable in all types of jobs that you might ever do in the future, whether you're here or someplace else. So your input is really important. We want you to fill out your surveys. We want you to communicate. We want you to share your ideas with us, and your ideas for solutions as well.
Thanks, Connie. When barcoding rolled out, why didn't we get signs to not sell items without tags?
So that's my bad. However, I've also been contacted about some other policies that we may want to display all on one sign, so we're not just sticking random pieces of paper to the wall and having like 10 different rules throughout our stores. I will probably work on just one individual sign for our registers. In the meantime, I do ask though that for any signage or anything like that, talk to your manager, have them submit it through the marketing and communications request form that is on GoodHub. There's 10,000 things going on in my brain at one time, and so if you tell me in person, it's possible I forget about it in the next 5 minutes. And that marketing and communications request form is to capture that so we have it submitted through the proper channels.
I want to follow up on that too a minute, in that it has been our policy since before I was in operations, that if something didn't have a price on it, it gets sent to the back and reprocessed. Because the game sometimes is folks will take the sticker off, hoping whatever clerk's there will sell it to them for whatever they name, which is usually like $1 or $2. So that's been a long-standing policy with Evansville Goodwill. So like, we didn't make a sign for that. We maybe could have, but to Morgan's point about 10,000 things, there was so many decisions we made with that rollout of that production system. Overall, a good success, but there were some oversights, and that was one of them. So that's not entirely your fault, Morgan.
Thank you, guys. Why weren't we alerted of top pricing going up? So we had the heads up. When we were hanging and it switched, we weren't sure if the computers glitched on us, and it was correct.
Yeah, that is absolutely something we maybe could have communicated a little bit better, but it is with that production system. We can adjust prices on the go. We're not gonna do that. But there are restaurants that change their prices based on the ebb and flow of customers. We're not gonna get that far into it, but we will adjust prices as time goes on, because things change in the world, and what might not be selling, like we might wanna up or down our prices depending on the demand for it. Great question.
Thank you. Good question here. So if you won an award at the Christmas party last year, can you win again this year?
Short answer is no, and it's to ensure we recognize a wide range of people. To find out who wins the awards this year, I do encourage you guys to attend the holiday party because that's when we will be announcing it.
Thanks, Morgan. Next question, can we have an updated list of the goods, better, best brands?
So the short answer to that is yes, you can. And our DGR team constantly evaluates this. but also know brands and what's in and what's out changes with the change of the wind sometimes. So there are folks that are processing in the back room. As best you can stay abreast of that kind of stuff, will help you make the correct price for things. But we can absolutely update that list. That's something we probably need to do annually at minimum, so we will make that a priority.
Next question. Can we know all about our gym at Washington Avenue? Hours open for use? When can we start using it? Will we have sanitation wipes for cleaning equipment before and after each use?
I am really happy that someone is interested in the gym. That's awesome. Yeah. Actually, the gym is slated to open in January of 2026. You may have noticed that some equipment's already been installed. It got installed earlier this week, and we have several more things that are on their way. We are finalizing the operating procedures, which includes the hours. That stuff will all be announced when it's time in January, early January. Definitely, we are concerned about the cleanliness and the safety of the gym. And so there will be appropriate supplies. People who use it will have to take responsibility for cleaning the gym equipment that you use after use. And then if you feel you need to clean it again before you use it, you feel free to do that as well. Safety is also really important, and while most of the equipment that we have is machines and things like that, we do intend to provide equipment training as well. The company that we're buying the equipment from is planning to be here to help everybody learn how to use the equipment properly. So we're really excited about it, and hopefully I'll get out of this boot by then and I'll be able to use it too.
Okay, so here's the last question in the survey that we have. How can we report someone anonymously?
So there are multiple ways to report any issues, concerns you have. First and foremost, you can go to a member of your management team and let them know your concerns. Maybe it's about your management team member, maybe you're not comfortable with that. You can also come to HR, so you can email HR at HR@EBB Goodwill and kind of let them know what's going on. Ideally, we would love for you to not do it anonymously, because by doing it anonymously, we sometimes can't get enough information to really get the full picture and really investigate the situation good enough. But if you want to report anonymously, we also have Report It. So in each of your locations, there should be an employee communication board. Typically in your break rooms, it's got a poster for Report It. It will tell you exactly how to report anonymously. There's a way to text, or an app or a website you can go to. So if you are not feeling comfortable reporting it to someone and want to stay anonymous, you can do it through Report It.
Thank you. So next, we are gonna go to open Q&A. I'm gonna go ahead and change the next slide, and it will pull up open Q&A that was submitted in Minty.com. Give it a few seconds.
There it is.
There it is.
And Tristan, if you could just hit enter after we answer the questions, it'll mark it as answered.
Perfect. Okay, so first question, why can't part-time workers get holiday pay like full-time employees?
Well, I will take that one because it's really a compensation issue. It is one of those things that if we paid every part-time employee the holiday pay, the cost would be pretty high. And so while it's something that I would love to be able to do, I don't know that financially it would be something that we would choose to do. Our goal is to eventually have more full-time employees. So if people are interested in full-time work, that is something that we would, love to make available to people. And that's another one of those very deliberate types of processes that we are going through right now by adding a training coordinator position that's full-time in every store, and we're also adding one full-time production associate, in every store. And so that's an opportunity for people to grow in their role and to get the full-time hours that would include full-time benefits.
Just hit the enter button on my computer.
There you go. Can we please offer our customers the option to round up to the nearest dollar?
That question comes all the time. Can I just round that up? Can I just round that up?
So the reason we ask for 82 cents is because 82 cents of every dollar we make goes to the mission, and that is the answer to that. Traditionally, the roundup programs aren't as successful as our 82-cent roundup. I'll give you an example. I like Taco Bell. I do. It's my box, okay? And if the roundup is like less than 40 cents, I usually do it. Like, okay, whatever. But if it's more than that, I don't. And that's me personally. A lot of folks do the same kind of math with that. So we've had good success with the 82 cents, and that 82 cents is a direct tie into our mission.
Thanks, Brian. Brian, this might be yours. Instead of candy for the kids.
I kind of like that idea.
I know, that one is, I mean, nobody will get sick, I don't think.
Well, except for until someone accuses us of giving their kids some kind of like contact drug or something. I don't know, not the temporary tattoos, guys, no.
No.
That's a big no. The stickers though,
Goodwill stickers,
not a
wouldn't
bad
that be
idea.
cute?
It's a great idea to consider.
Not a bad idea on the
Yeah,
stickers.
stickers could be a thing.
Sticker.
Not the tattoos. Although my 7-year-old would love the tattoo.
We did the buttons at our register for a period of time. Kids love that. I feel like the sticker would be a good alternative.
It's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Especially at the register too, because I think kids would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea.
Great question.
Thank you.
Oh, do we have an owner? Do we have an owner for that?
That sounded like.
That sounded like it. I don't know who it was though.
Next question. This is a tough one. You put the manager names and faces, full name, by the way, in the stores, but you are all the ones that make the decisions and pricing.
I mean, our names are put on our website. They're put in, I can put some more, like I said, we can add some more content to the TV so that people better understand who Evansville Goodwill is. But at the end of the day, having your names up there is intended for you guys to take more pride in the stores, the way that it looks, the cleanliness, and really so that there's a human behind the store itself. Because people, at the end of the day, don't connect with a brand. They don't connect with a smiling G, they connect with a human being. And so it's really intended so that you can take pride and so the customers can really link the store to the person running the show.
Thanks, Morgan. Next question, why don't employees and management at the outlet deserve a bonus like every other store? I think we answered this question.
We did answer that, but that last part is, are we not good enough? It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with that is a resale store, not a retail store. And our retail stores have been bonused for some time. We don't have a policy for the salvage side of things. So it's not about folks not being good enough at all.
Oh, no.
That really hurts my heart that someone thinks that.
Next question, the outlet is earning money for Goodwill all the same. Can you throw them a bone and get bonuses making their goals because it doesn't sound fair? I think you kind of answered that question with the last one. I'll go to the next question. Part-time question for benefits.
That is true, that part-time, there were some benefits that were given to part-time employees by the previous CEO. And that happened right at the end of his tenure here. It was one of those situations that seemed like a good idea at the time. And we analyzed that I think we continued it on for some people that were grandfathered in, and there may still be some employees who are receiving those same benefits because they were here and they've been here for an extremely long time. But we analyzed the cost, and in reality, with the number of part-time employees that we have, it was just a cost that we couldn't bear, and that's why we no longer do it.
And logistically, like for holiday pay, we have stores that are open for every holiday, so logistically, it just didn't really work for the industry that we are for retail.
I think we just had this question. Are there clothing vouchers for people in need that come in?
There are. The managers and the management team should have access to the voucher booklet, and basically if somebody comes in and has a genuine need for something, so they're homeless and they need a winter coat, and they come into the store and they ask for assistance, we have the ability to offer them a $25 voucher so that they can purchase a coat in our stores. They just have to speak with the management team in order to do that, and we have to kind of fill out some paperwork along with it.
Next question, is there any plans in the future for a referral bonus for referring a new employee to be hired? I worked at a place that would give a cash bonus of $50 for referring someone that makes it to 90 days.
So we are continuously looking at our employee benefits. So one of our strategic plan goals for 2026 is to evaluate all of our employee benefits. So we are looking at various ways to get more employees, keep employees, retain employees. So definitely something that we're constantly looking at.
So I don't know if it's a question or suggestion, but please add a round-up option at the cash registers. I'm constantly getting customers asking to round up instead.
Yeah, and that's because a lot of other retailers participate in a roundup. But the answer to this is that 82 cents of every dollar given to Goodwill goes to our mission services. And that's the why it's the 82 cents. So the better you can explain that to people, I'm not the only one that's been aggravated in a store someplace, right? Not just me, right? But usually if someone takes the time to explain to me why or what happened, I'll give you a great example. I ordered pizza a couple nights ago. They give my pizza away to somebody before me. The guy explained to me what was going on, and it was fine. Like, I get it. It was just a mistake. Wasn't mad. So if folks are upset, take the time to explain to them the why, and it takes the heat out of most of it.
And I think to add to that too, I think in 2026, I really want to make sure you guys have the materials and the tools to like successfully to respond to some of these things and create clearer messaging in our stores, more training for you guys on how to, with mission awareness, so that you guys can truly stand behind the 82 cents of every dollar statement goes to support our mission.
Yeah, because sometimes some of us forget, you know, we've had so many customers and we forget, you know, and there was a paper up there, a little thing that was sitting up at the register explaining to them. Some of them have gotten ruined or stuff, but, you know, we try to explain to them, you know, what the mission is and stuff. So most of them understand, especially our regulars, so.
And it may be something else that rotates through on the TVs. The
Oh, yeah.
explanation.
That would be something.
Next question.
We don't have any? I didn't know that.
I don't think we have any, no.
No.
I know we have a
Well, I didn't even
location
know that.
for the TVs.
No, we don't have any.
Okay then,
No.
soon. I'm going to write that down.
I've got one in my office y'all can take downstairs with you.
You let one of the maintenance guys do that.
No, not the break room.
Yeah, not in the break room.
Okay, next question. As a cashier, I feel we need to have a community, like town hall meeting, so they can understand that we don't make the prices, et cetera. We cashiers really get a lot of hateful talk from customers.
Okay, so the caveat to this is when you buy from Goodwill, you're supporting the mission of Goodwill. We've raised prices. We have, like in the last few years, So is everyone else. A Happy Meal does not cost what it does. I buy one or two a month, and I'm always like, good grief, these have gotten expensive. But we have raised our prices here and there because we've had to. But the dollars you spend, 82 cents of every dollar you spend goes towards the missions that we provide. Whether it's the Nurse Family Partnership, it's the Excel Center, Spoke Rehab, it's all those kinds of things that you spending money at Goodwill supports.
I feel like if you had a town hall meeting for the community, like that customers could come like we are right now, I think they would get a better understanding of like, you know, as cashiers and what goes on in the back and things like that, like, you know, how we price, how we tag clothes. And like, cause a lot of customers, they get so mad and they take it out on us and it's like, you know, like, hey, it's not our fault, you know, like, we work here, like we say all the time, we just work here.
But guys, I get that, but every time I've been in a store, and this happened the last time I was in a store, somebody was upset about something, and I don't remember what it was, but I took just a few moments to explain the why, and it took the heat out of it. Just like my pizza scenario earlier, I was kind of irritated when I went in there to get my pizza after I drove 30 minutes in to get it, and now I have to wait some more, but when the guy took a minute to explain, it extinguished the flame. I wasn't mad no more. It was okay, right?
Yeah,
So
and I understand
it's
that.
not, the answer is that we just work here. That's not the answer.
No, that's in my mind, I don't say that to them, that's in my head, you know. But, what I'm saying is like, we do explain to them, you know, like, our mission, and they're still upset, and, you know, and so, me as a cashier, when I'm at the cashier, I just like, you know, if you know, when I explain to them and tell them, and, you know, I'm trying to be as nice as I can be, and, you know, so I'll have them speak to our manager or something, or someone that's above me, or whatever, and just, hopefully it'll diffuse and them not being upset anymore. But it's just, we get a lot of flack as a cashiers, we get a lot of flack about a lot of stuff, so.
And I think that falls into just increasing the messaging of our mission that my department is going to be focusing on in 2026, because I also want to increase the signage that's in our stores as well to make it clearer and clarify our mission to our customers so they really do understand the why. So hopefully that's going to happen in 2026. It's going to take a little bit of time to roll out, but I hope that helps a little bit more. And then also just our presence in the community, whether we do news releases, we could even do, I think we've been asked to do field trips. That might be an opportunity to educate, but I don't know if a community town hall is the best avenue to do it, but I do think that there is probably opportunity for us to educate the community a little bit
It
more.
could be little short videos that we do, that we post on Facebook, or it could be other kinds of, you know, information we put on our website, and maybe it's on the TVs. I do agree that I know that customers just clearly don't have a good understanding of the why. And that's why it is important for you all to understand and to be able to explain that, but it's not exclusively on you. There's plenty of other opportunities for us to do better with the way we communicate with our community.
The other thing I'd say too to our cashiers is it's not necessarily about you guys. You're just the person that's there in front of them then. So try your best not to take it personally. We've all been not the nicest to someone in public, right? And we usually feel bad about it, and it's because it was the person there. It had nothing to do with that particular person. I know it's difficult, guys have been on the register, but try not to take it personally. You guys are good people trying to do the best job you can. I know that, so try your best not to take it home with you.
Yes, we are doing Christmas bonuses this year, and we'll unveil that at the holiday party.
Thank you, Connie. Next question. The gym at Washington Avenue is nice, but what about a membership to Planet Fitness or something for the outlying stores?
And that's a really good question, and it is one about making sure that we're as inclusive as possible for the benefits that we offer to all of our employees. We recognize the fact that this gym is really gonna only be available for the employees who work in this building. Although potentially if somebody worked at First Avenue or Boonville or Henderson or West Side and they wanna come here, they're not really being restricted from doing that, but we know that that's kind of a long drive for people to come here. So we are looking at possibilities to do something along that line, whether it's Planet Fitness or a YMCA or some other, fitness center that's located in the different communities that we're in. It is something that we are trying to work through as we look at our total rewards package next year. But I appreciate people's interest in working out and wellness. That's a great thing.
Next question, can Madisonville get an intercom system?
I have no problem with it. Like, I don't know why they don't, honestly. That is something we can certainly look into.
Yeah, that, or do they have walkie-talkies or any kind of communication system?
All the stores should have walkie-talkies, but for intercom systems, we have been applying for some various grants through state of Indiana, state of Kentucky, trying to get some of those things for the locations that do not have intercom systems.
Next question, is there a process to get a clothing voucher for the students at the Excel Center?
I think that's something we've talked about with the life coaches at the Excel Center, and so I think it would be a process that would go through them. I don't think it's fully set up or implemented just yet, but that doesn't mean it's not possible to get them a voucher if they are in dire need of one.
Next question, will we get a sign at the donor door that says for only Goodwill employees may enter? Or only Goodwill employees may enter, and when will we get security cameras at the donor door?
So, I don't remember, Morgan's got some designs for our current, the donor doors that were just installed, the sliders, but I don't know that it says only Goodwill employees may enter.
It
doesn't. However, we do have security cameras, I think, at all of our doors currently, and they are, I think they're nearly all converted over to the donor counting cameras as well.
Yeah. So if you've got a security camera that maybe isn't positioned on the donor door right or something like that, email, let Eric know, and we can always look at the positioning of the camera if that's the question.
It'd be helpful maybe to know
If people can see
which
it.
location this question came from.
Yeah.
It's like, I did that.
You sent that question?
Yep.
Okay, we have cameras at this store.
So it's like, you can see it, like it was right in front of you.
I'll show you where they are later. Be glad to.
Okay.
And guys, I'm looking at the time, and it's 3 o'clock. I did want to let you know, we can keep going, or we can.
Do we have more questions?
There are
There's
a few
a
more
lot of
questions.
questions still.
Liz has one. How about we do 10 more minutes?
10 more minutes?
Yeah.
And my question is return policies. Do we have one? Do we have things that they can return, and then they wanna know? If you don't, there's no sign to say it, it's not on the receipt. Where do we go with that?
I thought it said on the receipt, or no returns.
It should say no returns or exchanges on the receipt. I know we were having some issues with it printing.
Yeah, it doesn't say it on there. I mean, especially when someone's buying electronic, you know, they're like,
And my question was because the lady bought a purse that we marked up out of the case when she got it for her daughter, when their daughter didn't want it, so she wanted to return it. And she's, but why can't I return it? There's no sign that says I can't, there's nothing on the receipt. We honored it, so where do we go with that? That was a $30 purse that we sold that she returned.
So we currently don't have a return policy, so it is something that is in the works, but it's not ready to turn on today. But there will be specific language in it as what's returnable, and for the most part, it's gonna be electronic items that you can't test. I'm pretty sure the receipt says no returns accepted on it.
We can check after this.
If not, I mean, we should have a sign at the register.
Yes.
yeah, because we do get a lot of flack about that too. Like, they're like, well, the other store does it, and I'm like, okay,
What other store?
I don't know. That's what they,
That's what
they
say. First
tell us.
Avenue does,
they're
West
like,
Side
well,
does.
this store does it.
When we know they don't, let's show us.
So, question, radio interviews to clear up some of the common misconceptions of EGI.
We do radio interviews. We don't do them quite as frequently as I would like, and we do try to really explain our mission when we do those radio interviews, but I think that's part of the goal for next year as well. My department, our wildly important goal is really focused on brand favorability, and that is one of the ways that we can increase people liking us, essentially. And so that's part of the goal, and also just getting press releases out so the news can really share our mission and the impact that we're having, but that's definitely a good idea.
And we did, Morgan and I did, both a TV and radio interview on WNIN, and we've got, on WIKY coming up on, is that tomorrow? No, Friday, the Extortion Breakfast about the Turkey Day 5K, which is when we also will talk about the Excel Center and the mission of Goodwill. So, yeah, we do this, but you can always do more.
So this question is on new stores. Can we improve existing stores and expand for improvements? The lack of appeal at some of the locations contributes to loss in revenue and losses in bonuses.
I think there is some truth in this question for sure. We know that we do have a few locations that are in need of some upgrades. Those are being considered right now, but just like lots of things, you can't do everything at once. And so we have to be selective about which location needs the biggest upgrade first. And another goal that we have is to do a complete rebranding and update the exteriors of all of our buildings so they look more like this building. Because it's a more modern look, and it's one that I think is appealing to customers in general. So I think that it is something that we want to do. I've spoken to the architect about it. Again, it's a process. You can't just change 14 buildings' facades overnight. But it is something that we are looking at. I know that there are some stores that the interiors also are in need of a lot of work, maybe paint and so forth.
So we did just update the back room and the back wall at the Boonville store, for instance. We added several square feet to that store because it was in desperate need of it. And it's still not the ideal location, but we own the location. It can absolutely be a successful location. But we are doing that as we can, to Connie's point. We don't have a maintenance team of like 20 people that can just go hammer stuff out. We currently have 3 guys that do a lot of that kind of stuff. So they do the best they can, and they are some of the hardest working people within Goodwill.
Yes, they are.
And if you've not checked out the back room at Boonville, go check it out. It made a dramatic difference in that store.
I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook. And plus I have Facebook.
Next question, can family members join us for lunch at our locations?
I'm not sure what that.
Do they mean like on break?
I think they're meeting
Yeah, the
maybe
30-minute.
like in their back room, so typically we don't allow anyone but employees in the back room, so I'm assuming that's what they're asking. So they could join you for lunch, but you'd have to do lunch off-site or somewhere that's not in the back room, because that is just designated for employees only.
Yeah, if you want to do that, like go sit in your car in a parking lot or something.
Or run to a nearby restaurant or
Yeah.
whatever, as long as, you got 30 minutes, so you gotta be able to get there and get back.
I like this question. Can we start doing the customer appreciation days again?
Yeah, I think that's something that we
On a board.
spent today really trying to build out a timeline for 2026, and that is one of the things that we put up there, is to start doing those and planning them out.
Yeah, one of the funnest days we've had this year was our 90th anniversary, when we were passing out cookies in stores. That was really a lot of fun to interact with people.
I like those cookies.
They are good cookies too.
Okay, I think we have time for a few more questions. Next question is, and this one I'm unaware on.
We all went for that.
I did put that on the timeline because I would like to start doing it again. I don't think I'll be able to do it on a monthly basis because it does take a lot more time than you might think. So I'm hoping it comes back in 2026.
At least quarterly, maybe.
That's what I had on the timeline for, is quarterly.
Anecdote on that, we had people that thought we had two Morgans for a while, which is kind
Right,
of funny.
yeah.
I was proud of that.
This is Morgan.
I would enjoy that.
That's good.
Uh,
That's a lot of fun.
One second. I guess this is the last question. Are our wages including the money put back towards the mission?
Well, that is one way to think about it. I mean, our internal mission is the learning and development, and opportunities for growth for all employees at Goodwill. But I don't know if you really want to think about it that way or not. It is part of, I mean, wages are definitely part of the revenue and part of the expenses that we have as an organization. Like I mentioned earlier, 75% of our expenses are our wages, and 60% of our revenue is our wages.
Do we have time for one more?
Last one.
One more, yeah.
Right, right.
So we are going to unveil employee recognition program at our Christmas party. So come to the Christmas party and learn a little bit more about the employee recognition that we're gonna roll out for 2026.
Yeah.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really nice, really great. Oh, Mrs. Mary?
Okay.
Well, everybody, hey, thank you guys for attending the Fireside Chat. Give a round of applause to our panelists. And please be sure to answer this question. Did we enjoy this format of the town hall?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
You like this better?
Yes, I like this better than seeing you
So
all.
thank you
Yeah.
I
guys.
liked that you all control the agenda. I
Seeing
mean,
you guys
it was your
like in
question.
person instead of on the
Yeah.
screen, you know, you can have a lot better too.
You
Yeah.
all right,
I'm on
Mary?
the hot seat, bro.
Yeah, just choke on that water. I do that all the
She
time.
does too.
Thank you, everybody, for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank you
Yes.
all.
Thank you to those who submitted questions ahead of time as well.
Brandon, come Mary, I said hi.